Guilt is a negative emotion, and in this video, I will show you how you can let go of that guilt. This is Zeina, Rapid Transformational Therapist. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and you will get videos like that every week. Guilt won't serve you or the people around you, and you need to let go of it. I want today to share with you a story of one of my clients who came for therapy, anonymously of course. Shame, guilt, and fear were eating him up. He couldn't live normally, and he told me the story of this little boy, his story, whose parents were alcoholic. They would argue all the time, completely ignore him, and would let him wander the streets alone with no food or money or anything. And one day, this little boy was found by a much older man. He sat next to him, gave him food, and was telling him, "You're a lovely boy. What a lovely boy you are." While of course you can imagine touching him. My client said, "I went back every week. Same thing would happen. Every week he would buy me food, and every week he molested me. And that's why I am bad. I feel ashamed. I feel guilty." So I said to him, "I don't think you're bad. You are just a starving child, starving on food, starving on affection, starving on love and attention. And that was your coping mechanism. What happened to you could have been 1,000 times worse. You did what you had to do. You were a starving child, and I would never judge you for what you did." So, when you were a child, you were an innocent victim. It was not your job to secure your basic needs, but it was definitely your parents' job. That man did things to you, but you are as innocent now as you were at 8 years old. And the only person that was judging you all this time is you. When he saw that I wasn't judging him, actually on the complete opposite, on the contrary, he was impressed, or I was impressed, by his ability to survive. All his guilt and fears just faded away, and he felt so much lighter. See, when we understand that we are not the only one that would have done X, Y, and Z for certain reasons, we feel so much better. We are not the only ones. The real connection between people is based on sharing one another vulnerabilities and flaws. So if you are feeling guilty, or if you are feeling guilt and shame, please go back and see, what am I ashamed of? Have you stolen from your mom's purse or from a store? Have you stolen from your friend's toys? See, when we are kids, our greatest need is to connect. We need to be the same as all other kids, no different. So if you stole your friend's toys when you were a child, you weren't a thief, and do not label yourself as a thief, but you wanted to be like all your friends. The connection is a primal need. That's how we survive on this planet. Please realize we are all the same. No one on this earth does not make mistakes. We all make mistakes, all sorts of mistakes. We all have done something that we deeply regret, or said something stupid, or acted weirdly, or blew up a relationship because of how weirdly we acted. Feeling guilt or shame is particularly very common in relationships. And when one of the partners is digging in the past, just hold your head up high and say, "I did crazy things, but I was learning who I was. Maybe I was trying to find back my father in several partners I have been with, but I do not do those things now." But never apologize. And while I regret it, I will not be ashamed because I was finding myself. People may be trying to find themselves in gangs, in drugs, in drinking, in shoplifting, in several forms and colors. So don't blame yourself. or beat yourself up for the mistakes you have made when you are trying to find out who you are. By the way, if you have done a huge mistake and you know you will never ever repeat it again, you are already forgiven. Napoleon just said once, the man that never made a mistake never made anything. Remember, if you made these mistakes as a child, you're not even allowed to sign the contract before 18 because you are classified as not mature enough to know what you are doing. So forgive yourself. Just pause and say, I made a mistake. Yes, I did make a mistake. I was silly. I was immature. I wouldn't do it now. I am worthy to be forgiven. Forgive yourself. Let go of the blame. Let go of the guilt. Really, those are very negative emotions. You know, guilt doesn't make wrong things right. It doesn't change anything. You are allowed to make a mistake, but you are not allowed to beat up your own body, to invite illness, anxiety, and depression because you just made a mistake. We learn guilt. Babies never feel guilt. I'm sorry for the noises outside. Throwing up on your sofa, tearing your shirt apart, painting your wall. You learn guilt. It is not a natural thing. You are not born with it. We learn shame. It is not a natural thing again. Forgive yourself. Forgive everyone else. Move on. Let go. It's all behind you. It is not you. What you did in the past does not identify you or shape you or define you. Forgive the past. Feel good about the present and feel excited about the future. That is a recipe for happiness. If you know anyone that needs to hear this very important message, please share. Help others or other people living in self-hatred be free of that. If you need help in this and a little push to break free, click on the link below and book your free discovery call just now. And thank you for listening.